Hi guys and welcome back to episode 6 of the Fourlads podcast. We're at Ibrox following Rangers 2-1 Europa League win over Sparta Prague. Tonight's attendance was 48,838. Stevie, it was very much a game of two halves tonight. I think fair to say we started very well. Blew Sparta away early doors really with the two kind of quick goals. Felt like we fell away a little bit in the second half. What's your kind of overall thoughts in the game?
Delighted with the victory.
Yep.
Every single time it's a work in progress. And every time I'm looking for something extra, which I think we got in the first half. I thought we were very, very good in the first half. It tailed off a wee bit in the second half, but you've got to give Sparta credit because they're a good side. We know how strong they are from the first leg. And I thought that overall, if you'd offered me 2-1 before this, I would have grabbed it with two hands. It's 3 massive points in terms of progression. It leaves us with a great chance, a home game to Aris to qualify, basically. And Sparta have to go to Betis and try and get something. So in an ideal world, Sparta will go and get something off Betis and we'll beat Aris, and that would set us up perfectly for the group. But in head-to-head, that's a very strong victory for us tonight. So I would have taken it, but, you know, this is a work in progress. Considering where we were 5-6 weeks ago and what the manager inherited, to be in this position now in Europe, to be in a cup final, and not only that, it's passing the eye test, which is the most important thing for me. Again tonight, it passed the eye test.
It's something we spoke about. You go through, I think at one point we spoke about it as well. We were talking about we're turning up to Ibrox and you're almost going through the motions because we're not expecting a performance. We're expecting a win because it's Rangers, but we're not expecting that almost a performance, and it became a little bit meh almost. Whereas now they're playing and they've almost got a bit of swagger about them, and it's nice to see.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. You know, it became out of habit before. Yep. You know, you're turning up to that Aberdeen game at home and stuff, but now
dreadful.
Yeah, and you're dreading it, but now you've got your mojo back. The crowd have got theirs back, and you can feel it. There's a positivity in there. There's an expectancy because we always do, but it's an expectancy with stuff to back up.
Yeah. We'll stick with that just for a wee second because you've mentioned it, but it was something that was highlighted in the manager's press conference there about the support. I think he's pretty buzzing, isn't he, really? The last 20 minutes, when we were maybe under a little bit of pressure and under the cosh, Sparta had scored and they were kind of trying to get themselves back into the game, and the crowd really stepped up tonight. They were good.
Yeah, I highlighted it on Twitter. I thought the last 20 minutes when the team really needed them, I thought they were exceptional. Everybody stayed, which I think is important. You got a few that drifted away, granted, but the majority stayed, which we haven't seen. Everybody made a lot of noise, got behind, and even at the end, the display from the start was actually displayed at the end
because everyone, nice.
Which was nice. So I think they really helped. I thought the team managed the last spell really well. Yep. Jack Butland did a very good save to his left, but apart from that,
wasn't really trouble.
They didn't really get in. He took some good crosses, which we need, and he continues to impress. But sometimes this team's going to have to grind it out, and we'll find out a wee bit more about them in those situations. And I thought we found out a wee bit more about this team in the last 20-25 minutes. In the second half, there was a few times they got in without really creating. There was a bouncing volley which kind of went wide, which was as close as it came. And then, to be fair to them, they scored a good goal. They maybe got in easier down the side than we would have liked, and the cut back, the boy slams it home, and that happens. They're a good side, right? And I think that people might look at that and think, 2-1's not,
convincing.
But it was on the first half. It was a convincing win. Should we have added a third? Maybe, but if you'd given us that before the game, we all would have taken it. I'm really delighted with that. Say that's such a big win, and it keeps it going because he's come in and he's done everything he possibly could do to get those results, and that's another one tonight that's just worked perfectly for us.
Talk to me about Danilo. He took his first goal well. He was unlucky, I think, to have a second chopped off. I think they call it a foul from VAR. Looked a little bit soft. If that's going against you, you're probably playing for it as well, let's be honest, right? But I think it looked a little bit soft. You mentioned earlier on when he plays, he seems to be a trigger for the team. He steps up, everyone else steps up. Ryan Jack steps up a man. Your wingers are stepping in a little bit, and the press seems to come off of his movement. How good has he been since he's been
10 goal involvements, 6 goals, 4 assists. And we all said this boy's got something about him.
Yep.
And when we first saw him, we thought this is a good player. He's proven it, and I think he's getting better. He's getting sharper. His first goal is excellent. He hunts it down himself, wins it, and then has the peace of mind just to know what angle can I go at. He shapes his body and then rolls it in with his left foot. Calmly, perfectly, wasn't it? It was a lovely finish. But he's given us something up front. He's nippy, he's a menace, he presses. And so that's 85 minutes in his legs tonight, which is great. And I've got to credit the manager because I think he's handled that situation well. Coming into a lot of pressure under Dessers, he could have just whipped him out and probably crushed his spirit a wee bit.
Yeah.
And just taken him right out and said, no, we're playing Danilo. He played him. Danilo then comes in and gets his chance, takes it, and it's a natural swap. Because then he can say, well, look, no, Danilo has to come in, and he's earned his place. And he's done it in a way that he probably wants Danilo in there as his number 9, right? I think that's fair. I don't know because he's never going to say it. But he's done it in a way, and that transition's happened naturally. So Dessers is now on the outside looking in, but he's not been damaged in a way, confidence-wise, that he might never recover from. He's actually had a good wee spell out of the team where he can recover a wee bit, and Danilo goes and leads the team the way he has brilliantly. I love him, Sarah. I think he's great. I really do.
Is he replacing Scott Wright?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Scott would have been in that team tonight, but I think he's great. There's a real kind of energy towards him from the crowd as well. But I know he's impressed you as well.
Yeah, I do. I'm very taken by him. I'm not going to lie. Who else stood out? Sima was someone that you mentioned had a good game. Cantwell obviously took his goal very well. John Lundstrom was a standout in the first half and completely faded for whatever reason.
Yep.
In the second half was anonymous. What's happened there?
I said to you, after 20 minutes, I said, who's not touched the ball in the second half?
Yep.
And John Lundstrom, and it's no coincidence that we fell out of it a wee bit. But he was still working hard. Him and Jack still worked hard. They still got back. They still put in a lot of effort. So it's not a criticism. I just think that Sparta changed the way they went about it. They were really going down the sides instead of going centrally. So it took that kind of bit edge away from it. But these are the games where we need them to dig in, which they did. And we had to see it through. I just think that Rangers gave so much in that first half. The trigger, the press, the shape, everything about it, which meant that when it came to the second, it really, I'm not surprised some of them faded out of it. I don't want to be too critical because there's a real feel-good factor at the moment, and I want that I want this to stay positive in our discussion with it. But Lundstrom again had a good night for him.
Yeah.
I think the majority of them did, and McCausland, when he came on, I thought had a great wee cameo. He's got an eye for a pass.
It doesn't have.
He's going to grow in confidence, and I think that there's a wee potential there for him, maybe to get game time Sunday and keep getting. The manager highlighted it at the fan forum during the week. He says he thought he's got a gem in Ross McCausland, and I think we might. So it's about nurturing him, getting the wee opportunities for him, and he got it tonight, and I think he took it. So overall, it's a good night for us. Jack Butland solid at the back. Thought we defended well at times. Second half a bit more trickier. Midfield was fine. Sima had a good game attacking wise. He done excellent for the second goal. Cantwell chops in, and it all worked. So overall, again,
delighted.
Absolutely delighted with the result.
Cantwell took his goal well, and obviously we saw just down to our right hand side the celebration with him and Danilo. I don't know if you do this. It's something that I do. My season tickets obviously in the enclosure, so it's sort of quite nearly dug out. You see the manager and what's happening in the technical area from time to time. So I'm quite used to spending maybe a minute or so just watching the manager and seeing what's happening. And during that celebration, he was waving his arms, screaming at them to get back up the park. He's very no nonsense, which I have to say I quite like. I'm all for having a celebration, right? It was a good goal, it was well taken. But he was having none of it, screaming for them to get back up the park. He's quite something.
Yeah, I think the manager's been hugely impressive, and I've been very guarded because you don't want to fall too quickly and think that and start shouting that this guy's going to be the one, and you know I am, and that he's going to be the one that changes this. But it's the eye test. Is he backing it up with what we're seeing? Yes. Is he doing little bits of progression here and there? And it's the simple things. Does the shape look good? Can we see 4-2-3-1? Can we see 4-1-4-1 when we're out of possession? Yes, we can. When Danilo triggers a press, does everybody move the way they should? Yes, they can. Are they knocking it about nice football? Is there a link up front? Yes. All of these things have happened since he arrived. And it's not a coincidence. Off the field, I think he's a very nice guy. I think he's funny in press situations. But serious when you need him to be, and I think that on the touchline, he's definitely more animated and involved than what we've seen before.
Yeah.
When you listen to the players, and the players aren't going to come out and say, "Oh, this guy's terrible," but the things that they're saying ring true. He's simplified it. There's a good atmosphere, and it's coming through in how they play. For that goal, you pulled my attention to it, and he was flapping his arms and telling him to get back in and get cut. He wants more, and I like that. His comments after game today, I want to see that throughout the 90 minutes. That's what I want to see, and I think that's great.
He seems a bit maybe dissatisfied with the level of physical fitness, perhaps, with some of the team at the moment. Something that he mentioned, talking about that's potentially the best performance. When you're talking about, again, particularly against a level of opponent like Sparta Prague, it's maybe not something that we've faced yet in the league, but it's going to take time for the players to get to a sort of peak level of physical condition where they can perform like they did in that first half for 90 minutes. So, to be honest, it kind of bodes well for the future. He's saying all the right things.
Yeah, yes. Yes, he's been highly impressive to, let's be honest, the mess that he came into. And it was a mess. And I don't think we quite realised how big a mess it was. But it certainly was. And I think he's done a great job. And I think that the early signs of the manager are very positive on and off the field with regards to him at the sidelines demanding more. And I think he'll put demands on this team. And I think that the difference is he can say to them, I've played at World Cups. I've won things. I've played for Belgium. I've been a manager that's won leagues. I've been a manager that's managed in France and done well in Belgium, etc. And the players then have got somebody that they can go to. And I also think that although he's jovial and relaxed at times, I think that in that serious mode, when he's giving you instructions, you're going to listen.
He commands the respect.
He's a commanding figure.
Yeah.
So I am fully on board with my excitement for the manager, and it's still early, but it's very promising early signs.
Yeah. Just a quick one. Connor Goldson obviously picked up a yellow card tonight. Probably a wee bit of a talking point on about that, given it was during an offside phase of play. It was something that, again, the manager touched on. I think he called it a stupid rule, didn't he? Like the flag not going up until later on, which I kind of thought was on that, because he's obviously now going to miss the home game against Limassol. You're a referee. What's the rule here?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you had a few choice words for me because I said that is unfortunately the rule. But
Stop defending a linesman.
Yeah, the assistant's right. You know, you're supposed to call it at the phase of play when it's dead, and he did. But it's tricky for us because it's offside. Connors went to win the ball when he shouldn't have had to because it's offside. So, you know, it's just unfortunate the way it's worked out. It's another opportunity for somebody else. Manager called it a stupid rule. I think he's right. So it's just an unfortunate one for us, and we just need to get on with it. It's an opportunity. Leon King will probably come in if John Suter isn't fit. But John Suter, hopefully after the break and things, will be able to be back. But again, you know, at home to Harris, it's an opportunity for Suter to come in and play right side and maybe lead the defence, which is possibly an opportunity he's been looking for. So it's difficult, but at least, you know, the other side of it is you'll be there for Betis, which could be a kind of group winning game.
Fingers crossed. Livy away on Sunday, off the back of some pretty good performances, pretty convincing performances in the last game before the break. Feeling confident that we'll just go there and do the business and
I'm absolutely confident
sail
because
off into the sunset.
Well, it's if you had given me this set of results up until Livy, I would have taken it. If we managed to win on Sunday, and it'll be a tricky game because
Sunday
of
was
that.
a great performance, by the way.
It was. If we win on Sunday and put in a performance on that pitch and get the result, then Clement's probably done more than we thought he was, or this group was capable of, given the situation we're in. So it's all about putting in a performance. I just keep saying I want to see a wee bit more every game. If we can see that small baby step progress, and it's happening quicker than I thought it was, but if we can see that each game, I'll be delighted, and we are seeing it. So roll on Sunday and go and get the result, head into this break, get a few players back, work on some things, and then get ready to get going again. Because this season, although it was a horrendous start, we're in a cup final, we're looking good in Europe, we've still got a fighting chance in the league. Although it's difficult.
Listen, it's 5 points.
We've got a game in hand and stuff like that. But, you know, it's still all there. So we got a tough run now, and it's time. It's going to be time for the players to kind of show a wee bit. But I'm starting to think that we are in a good shape to do that, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to my wee trip to Aberdeen in a couple of weeks' time. So
yeah, Sarah, to be fair, folks, Sarah goes everywhere. I'm a wee bit more kind of inhibited by shifts and stuff. But Sarah, give us, before we end this, what's your thoughts on how this has gone under Clement and where we are at the moment?
Better than expected, probably. I think just maybe expectations were so low, weren't they? We were used to just monotonous kind of dull football under Beale. The players had down tools, that was evident. You then start losing a bit of faith in the playing squad. That's a good squad. We have a good squad. I know people have said before, we've got maybe a starting 11 and that's that. It's quite evident tonight that we've got players on the wings, we've got players coming for the B team. The manager's also spoken, I'm sure he mentioned it on Tuesday night, about trying to bridge the gap between the B team and the first team as well. He's
with
mad.
An appointment in the next couple of weeks.
Well, he seems mad keen on youth, and let's be honest, we've got a few diamonds in that team that could step up. Maybe not at this level, but why not against Livingston? Maybe at home. Why not against Ross County at home? No disrespect to those teams, but these boys are at that level, so I like what he's doing. I don't expect it to happen overnight, but I've seen improvements quicker than I was expecting, and I'm quite happy. And he's got a shaved head, hasn't he? I'm a big sucker for a shaved head, so we'll just end that there.
And on that note, folks, thanks for joining us again. Your support during this and for what we're trying to do has been fantastic. Hope you're enjoying it. Sarah, you'll be at Livingston, 3 points up the road.
Definitely. Thank you very much, folks. Cheers for tuning in.
See you soon. Thank you.